to 7 basic calculate 2. It's a median Leetcode question. Basically, you're giving a string and represents our expression, evaluate its expression and return the result, and the integer division should truncate towards 0. So you may assume that the given expression is always valid and it will be in this range, and you are not allowed to use any built-in function such as eval, and you can use the calculator and or any function built in, and you have to do this manually by yourself. And then look at this example here. If it's a calculator, and we're gonna do 2 multiplies 2 first, right? And then that's 4, and plus 3, that's 7, and 3 divide 2, and that's 1. Because you have to one thing that you have to pay attention is that the integer division should truncate towards 0, right? There's another example here, and 3 plus 5 divide 2, the truncate to 0 is equals to 2, and then 2 plus 3, that's equal to 5. And then there's some constraints here, and consists of operator, plus minus, multiplex division, and then S represents a valid expression, it will be valid, and there are some other constraints here. And in the last 6 months, Facebook asked this question 110 times, and here some other companies asked this question. So the thing is, how you can do this basic calculator is that you have to think about, if you start doing the calculation 3 plus 2, the answer will be wrong. That's because when we go through a calculator, and the multiplex always have higher priority, right? And if we calculate 3 plus 2 equals 5, and then multiplex 2, the answer is wrong. So the best ideal, the way to solve this problem is that if you look at this 3 plus 2 multiplex 2, and then let's say, and we want to do minus 5 division, do a division to, let's say something like this. Actually, let's do this. So let's say this is the thing that they want you to calculate, right? You look at this expression, you don't know how to start this, but if you actually look at it closely, it's you can put all plus sign to all the result. Basically, 3 plus minus 4, and you plus 2 multiplex 2, and you also plus that's a minus 5 divided by 2, right? If you look at it this way, the question is actually easier. So basically, all you need to do is put all of them together, and do you think about a data structure that can easily help you to do this. That's basically the stack. So you append every single number into the stack, and in the end, the result that you are returning is actually sum of the stack. So you just need to calculate everything plus together in the end. So you just need to go along every single character in the string, right? And when you go along the string, when you process them, if you see a number, you just add the number, and if you see the operator, and you do the operator calculation, and then you append the operator with the result to the stack, and then in the end you return the sum of the stack, and then you will get the result. And then I think let me show you how to do this in code, and you will have a better understanding. So if if the string is empty, and I'm just simply return 0, right? Because there's nothing there. So I just need a few things, and I need a stack, and I need a number, and also need the sign. Sign is the multiplex and minus, plus, stuff like that. So the stack and is empty at the beginning, and the nums, I want to assign it to 0 at the beginning, and sign, I want to assign it to as plus. The reason is because all the operation that I'm trying to do is plus each other, right? So I'm going to assign the sign as plus. So for I in range and length of s, right? So basically, I'm going through every single number in this, every single character in the string that they give to us. So first, I'm going to say, most likely it's going to start with a number, right? So I'm going to say SI. If SI is digit, so if it's number, it's a number, then it's a Python. Then you can check if the number is a digit. Say at the beginning is 3, right? So if it is a digit, what am I going to do? Because right now I'm giving you an example as 3, right? But it could be 34 or even 343, something like that. If that is the case, how do we append this number into the stack? That's that you have to do a calculation. It's basically num plus 10 and plus the integer and si. And for example, like if it's 34, right? And the first nums I want to plus 10, it's because I want to do 30, and then I plus the integer si. Then I will be able to append 34 into the stack. So I'm calculating if this is a digit first, and if it's a digit, I'm gonna calculate the num, right? And then I'm gonna check the second thing, if it's basically if it's a sign, it's an operator. So if not si, if it's not a digit, if the thing is not a digit, the character is not a digit, and si is space. If it's not a space, that means if it's not a space and if it's a number, most likely it's not a most likely it's a sign, right? So in that case, in this condition check, I'm gonna do condition check on the plus minus and stuff like that. And or another scenario is if the I length is equals to the length of string minus 1, or it's the last character in the string that they give to us. What I'm going to check is if sign equals to minus, I'm going to stack dot append. I'm just going to append the minus number, right? Because if it's minus, I'm just going to append the minus number. If sign equals to plus, that's the one of the easy scenario. Then you just stack append nums, right? If if the sign equals to multiplex, if it's multiplex, what do we do? It's basically it's the same thing that we will have to append the calculation of the result of 2 multiplex 2. But when we get the sign, what we need to do is at that time we have already appended 2 to the stack, right? So we actually need to pop the 2 out of the stack. So that will be 2. Pop out of the stack, and then we multiplex the num we have calculated. So basically, we want to pop this 2 and multiplex with the current num. Basically is 2. So then we will be able to do the multiplex calculation. And then the else scenario is basically is the sign equals to the division. So the division is a little tricky. That's basically because it want you to truncate the division result equal to 0. If it's positive, then it's like really straightforward. All you need to do is just do the division. But if it's minus, you will have to plus 1, because when you do the division, if it's minus, then it will be one number different. So basically, let me assign the stack pop. I'm gonna give a temp number, like the 5 before the division, and I'm gonna stack pop it. That's the temp number. If temp do a division of num is smaller than 0, and temp if the remainder remainder does not equal to 0. So there's some it's not like a whole integer. There's some floating number right after the integer. Then you want to stack dot append temp, do a division on the num, you have to plus 1 if it's smaller than 0. Else all you need to do is just stack dot append the division result, and it will automatically truncate to 0. So that's just something small in Python that you need to remember. And then after that, I'm gonna change the sign to SI, and then I'm gonna set the num to 0 again, and then in the end, all I need to do is just return the sum of stack. This way, I'll be able to calculate the final result for the calculator. Sign is 0 in this case. Yep. If you think this is helpful, please like my video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon with more Leetcode questions. Bye bye.